Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My name's Daniel, and I'm the Vegan Nazarite. Well, I want you to welcome you today to today's Torah reading. We're going to be reading Yitro, which is 17 of 52, I believe. So we're still in Exodus, and a couple of weeks ago, Moses started taking everybody out of Egypt, and we're continuing that theme. So today's Torah reading is going to be Exodus 18:1 to 20:26, and it's also going to be Isaiah 6:1 to 7:6 for the prophets. Why do we read the Torah every Sabbath day? Because it's written in Luke, or the Gospel of Yeshua, that it was Yeshua's tradition, so to speak, to study the law and the prophets every Sabbath day. So by, repeating the same actions that Yeshua did, we honor him because basically that's what Yeshua was. He was a student and a teacher of the law and the prophets. And there really is no other reason. If the Holy Spirit has touched you, you should have a very high regard for the law, because that's pretty much where everything is. The definition of sin, the commandments, what God did for us to take it out of Egypt. So that's the reason we read the Torah on Sabbath days. I want to thank you for joining me, and let's start right away. Let's be switching. So chapter 18 of Exodus. Now Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, just trying to minimize this so I can have a little bit of an idea what I'm doing. There we go. Shabbat Shalom. I just did it. Let's start. Now, Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard that all God had done for Moses and for Israel, his people, how that the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he had sent her away, and her two sons, of whom the name of one was Gershom, for he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. And the name of the other was Eliezer, for the God of my father was my help and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, came with his sons and his wife unto Moses in the wilderness, where he was encamped at the mount of God. And he said unto Moses, I, thy father-in-law Jethro, am coming unto thee and thy wife, and her two sons with her. And Moses went out to meet his father-in-law, and he bowed down and kissed him, and they asked each other of their welfare. And they came into the tent. And Moses told his father-in-law all that the Lord had done unto Pharaoh, and to all the Egyptians for Israel's sakes, and all the travail had come upon them by the way, and how the Lord delivered them. And Jethro rejoiced for all the goodness which the Lord had done to Israel, in that he had delivered them out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Jethro said, Blessed be the Lord, who hath delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of Pharaoh, who hath delivered the people under the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know that the Lord is greater than all gods, for they dealt proudly against him. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took a burnt offering of sacrifice and sacrifices for God, and Aaron came and all the elders of Israel to eat bread with Moses' father-in-law before God. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood about Moses from the morning until the evening. And when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he did to the people, he said, What is this that thou doest for the people? Why sittest thou thyself alone, and all the people stand about thee from morning unto even? And Moses said unto his father-in-law, Because the people come into me to inquire of God. And when they have a matter, it cometh unto me, and I judge between a man and his neighbor, and I make them know the statutes of God and his laws. And Moses' father-in-law said unto him, The thing that thou doest is not good. Thou wilt surely wear away both thou and this people that is with thee, for the thing is too heavy for thee. You are not able to perform it thyself alone. Hearken now unto my voice. I will give thee counsel, and God be with thee. Be thou for the people of God, and bring thou the causes unto God, and thou shalt teach them the statutes and the laws, and shalt show them the way wherein they must walk and work that they must do. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear God, men of truth, hating unjust gain, and place over them to be rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of 10. And let them be judges for the people for all seasons. And it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge themselves, so that they make it easier for thee and bear the burden with thee. If thou shalt do this thing, and God commands thee so, then thou shalt be able to endure. And all the people shall also go out of their place in peace. So Moses hearkened unto the voice of his father-in-law, and did all that he had said. And Moses chose able men out of all Israel, and made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. And they judged the people at all seasons. The hard causes they brought unto Moses, but every small matter they judged themselves. And Moses let his father-in-law depart, and he went his way into his own land. Chapter 19. In the 3rd month, after the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. And when they were departed from Rephidim, and they were come to the wilderness of Sinai, they encamped in the wilderness, and there Israel encamped before the mount, and Moses went up to God. And the Lord called him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, You have seen what I did to the Egyptians, and now I bore you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if you will hearken unto my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, you shall be mine own treasure from among the peoples, for all the earth is mine, and you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and set them before them all of those words which the Lord commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, All that the Lord has spoken we will do. And Moses reported the words of the people unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Moses, Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and may also believe thee forever. And Moses told the words of the people unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go unto the people, and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their garments. And be ready against the third day, for the third day the Lord will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, Take heed to yourselves that you go not into the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever touches the mount shall be surely put to death. No hand shall touch him, but he shall surely be stoned or shot through, whether it be beast or man, it shall not live. When the ram's horn soundeth long, they shall come up to the mount. And when Moses went down from the mount unto the people, and sanctified the people, and they washed their garments, and he said unto the people, Be ready against the third day, come not near a woman. And it came pass on the third day, when it was morning, a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of a horn exceedingly loud, and all the people that were in the camp trembled. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet God, and they stood at the nether part of the mount. Now Mount Sinai was altogether on smoke, because the Lord descended upon it in fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. And when the voice of the horn waxed louder and louder, Moses spoke, and God answered him by a voice. And the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai to the top of the mount, and the Lord called Moses up to the top of the mount, and Moses went up. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto the Lord to gaze, and many of them perish. And let the priests also that come near to the Lord sanctify themselves, lest the Lord break forth upon them. And Moses said unto the Lord, The people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for thou did charge us, saying, Set bounds about the mount, and sanctify it. And the Lord said unto him, Go, get thee down, and thou shalt come up, thou and Aaron with thee, but let not the priests and the people break through to come unto the Lord, lest he break forth upon them. So Moses went down to the people and told them. Chapter 20. And God spoke all of these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee a graven image, nor any manner of likeness, nor anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children of the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto the 1,000th generation of them that love me and keep my commands. Thou shalt not take the Lord thy God in vain, the name of the Lord thy God in vain. For the Lord will not hold him guiltless, he that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. 6 days thou shalt labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath unto the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any manner of work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested on the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is in thy neighbor's. And all the people perceived the thunderings and the lightning and the voice of the horn and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they trembled and stood afar off. And he said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we will die. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, God is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before you, that you sin not. And the people stood afar off, but Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was. And the Lord said unto Moses, Thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, Ye yourselves have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. You shall not make with me gods of silver or gods of gold. You shall not make unto you an altar of earth. Thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon upon my burnt offerings and my peace offerings and thy peace offerings, thy sheep and thy oxen. In every place where I cause my name to be mentioned, I will come unto thee and bless thee. And if thou make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone, for if you lift up any tool upon it, thou shalt have profaned it. Neither shall you go up by steps unto my altar, that thy nakedness be not uncovered thereon. 2026. There we go. That's the Torah free reading for today. So there we go. Exodus chapter 20, the 10 Commandments, everything's there. And I just want to add a quick comment. All these temples that the nations build, they all have steps. They all try to go as high as they can towards the heaven. What does God command us? He commands us to do an altar straight on the ground. So just another example of how the nations are completely different than what God commands us. Also, we read that if a man touches any stone of the altar, he has profaned it. Well, this is just my opinion. Take it with a chunk of salt. But my opinion is that's all man is good for. Everything he touches, he turns into an abomination. So whether it's a corporation, a business, the earth itself, pretty much everything that man does, he turns into corruption. And that's why we need the heart of flesh versus the heart of stone and the new spirit. Because with those two things, we are changed from a corrupt part of the earth into God's people. And we read that a little bit in the Torah today, where God says that he will take for himself, Israel as a peculiar nation. Israel is different from the rest of the world. And the only way we can be different is through God's commands. Anyways, enough on that. Again, I'm not a very good teacher. That's why I'm just reading the Torah as plain as it can be. So take it with a grain of salt. Let's move on to the prophets. And today we're going to be going to Isaiah 6:1. Give me a second or two so I can find it. Prophets. And we're looking at Isaiah 6:1. There we go. Isaiah chapter 6 to 7:6. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord standing upon a throne high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. Above him stood the seraphim. Each one had 6 wings. With twain he covered his face, and with twain he covered his feet, and with twain he did fly, and one unto another, and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the posts of the door were moved at the voice of them that called. And the house was filled with smoke. Then said I, Woe is me, I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I will dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. For my eyes had seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Then flew unto me one of the seraphim, with a glowing stone in his hand, that he had taken with the tongs from the altar, and he touched my mouth with it, and said, Lo, this had touched thy lips, and thine iniquity is taken away, and thy sin is expiated. And I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send? And who will go for us? Then I said, Here I am, send me. And he said, Go and tell these people, Hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they, seeing with their eyes, and hearing with their ears, and understanding with their heart, return and be healed. Then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, Until cities be waste without inhabitants, and houses without man, and the land become utterly waste, and the Lord have removed men far away, and the forsaken places be many in the midst of the land. If there be yet a tenth in it, it shall again be eaten up, as a terebinth and an oak whose stalk remaineth. When they cast the leaves, so the holy seed shall be the stalk thereof. Chapter 7. And it came to pass in the days of Ahaz, the son of Jotham, the son of Uzziah, the king of Judah, that Rezin, the king of Aram, and Pekah, the son of Remaliah, the king of Israel, went up to Jerusalem to war against it, but could not prevail against it. And it was told the house of David, saying, Aram is confederate with Ephraim. And his heart was moved, and the heart of his people, as the trees of the forest are moved with the wind. Then said the Lord unto Isaiah, Go forth now to meet Ahaz, thou and Shear Jeshubab, my son, at the end of the conduit of the upper pool in the highway of the fuller's field, and say unto him, Keep calm and be quiet. Fear not, neither let thy heart be faint, because of these 2 tails of smoking firebrands, for the fierce anger of Rezin and Adam, and the son of Remaliah, because Adam hath counseled evil against thee, Ephraim also, and the son of Remaliah, saying, Let us go to war, let us go up against Judah and vex it, and let it make a breach for therein for us, and set a king in the midst of it, even the son of Tabiel. Thus saith the Lord God. It shall not stand, neither shall it come to pass. For the head of Aram is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is Rezin. And witness 65 years shall Ephraim be broken, that it be not a people. And the head of Ephraim is Samaria, and the head of Samaria is Remaliah's son. If he will not have faith, surely he shall not be established. And that's the end of the prophets for today. So let's take a lesson here. Even Isaiah was unclean when he started preaching. And I believe, again, take this with a chunk of salt, that Isaiah was cleaned exactly the same way we are cleaned when we receive the new heart and the new spirit. Isaiah admitted he was a man of unclean lips. So, Father cleans his lips for him and then makes him acceptable for ministry. Well, that's basically the mechanics of salvation. We start off, I'll say cursed for lack of better words, because of Adam and Eve. And then at one point, we reach out to Yahweh. And if we look for him hard enough, with all our heart and with all our strength, then he acknowledges us by giving us the new heart and the new spirit. Just like he did with Isaiah, by putting the coals, by the angel or the seraphim putting the coal up to his lips. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the mechanics of salvation. That's how God chooses us. We choose him by seeking him with all our heart and might. And then at one point, he comes to us and gives us a new heart and a new spirit. Well, I'm going to wish everybody a happy Sabbath day. May you rest well on the Sabbath day. And we just heard the command today, don't let your children work. Don't let your slaves work or your employees. We don't really have slaves in Canada, but your servants could be also your employees. Not even your animals are supposed to work on the Sabbath day. So take a rest and enjoy the Sabbath day. Rest with family. And may the Lord bless you and keep you in his ways. I'm Daniel, the Vegan Nazarite, signing off for another Sabbath. Shabbat Shalom.